Hello, boys.
Hello. Okay. Last episode, you guys were watching Demonia fare off against Zekrom in the, it's a friendly bout, non-lethal, but simply testing the might of your democratically chosen warrior of the party. In this, choice fighter, you guys came to Demonia to fare off against Zekrom. She got to round 5 when suddenly a large fireball exploded towards O'Flanagan, engulfing him in flames. All the stands began to erupt in, fear, and a lot of chaos started to arise from this immediate fireball explosion, and that's where we stopped the session. This fireball occurred shortly after Orbweeb had a run-in with a Dragonborn that was sitting next to her, who threatened the life of your guys' party animal, Steve, and the lives of everybody here at this event if Orbweeb didn't cooperate by going and taking Bahamut to Reshiram in the village of Reshiram. Orbweeb held him still with a spell. He signaled to a Dragonborn with his eyes by blinking, and that Dragonborn across the way behind O'Flanagan lit off the fireball. And that is where we stopped. Now, does anybody have any questions or anything they want to mention before we begin?
Can I do a composure check? Because there's fire everywhere.
Yes.
6.
With the 6, you are terrified by these flames. But we are starting a little bit just before this flame ball appeared. Demonia and Zekrom are trading blows, and Corwin, you're taking your seat in the bleachers, and you're towards the more front bleachers towards this ring-like podium that Demonia is fighting on. You didn't sit with your party mates as there wasn't much seating available for you all to be together, so you all sat separately. When you did sit down, you happened to notice a big, just bulky man sitting next to you. A darker fellow, seems to be in his older years, with short gray hair and a lightly trimmed, about a medium-length beard. You can look at his face, and you can see he has seen his fair share of battles, just from the wrinkles that you can see under his eyes and the tired look you can see in his eyes. As you glance over to him, he kind of looks down to you, and you immediately kind of feel almost unequal to his presence, as he is sitting about 2 feet above you, which you can guesstimate he's about 7'4". He seems to be a rather big fellow, and as you continue to investigate this person next to you, you can see he's wearing like a blue tunic, and he seems to have these white feathery wings lightly tucked behind his back. You can recall when you're walking to the podium, you did see him standing near the podium, and he briefly was exchanging conversation with Zekrom. He looks over to you, and as you're watching Demonia and Zekrom practically chase each other around this podium, he kind of leans in towards you and he says, "I hear you were the part of the group who is with our warrior friend up here."
We travel in like groups.
Interesting.
Do you happen to know either one of them?
He quickly glances to you, then looks up to Zekrom and Demonia, and he says, I've known Zekrom for many years. He's a dear friend.
He seems like a good enough fella for the most part.
I chose, with you being the person who brought Bahamut here, I think it's a good idea to maybe I tell you some information. I was able to partake. I did speak with Zekrom, and he introduced me to Bahamut. And you see, he kind of pauses for a moment and almost debates if he wants to tell you what he's thinking, and says, maybe. He holds out his hand to you and he says, my name is Micah. What is yours?
Oh, sorry, my hands are a bit damaged. But gratitude. Carwin Attleberry.
Cohen Attleberry. Cohen Attleberry, what do you know about the Celestials?
Oh, not a whole lot. No, they're powerful. And that I believe they're all gone, if I remember this tale correctly. As far as the legend goes.
That is the common belief. Cohen Attleberry. This, the dragon you brought to my ally Zekrom. I have good reason to believe he is not even just a platinum dragon. The legend of the platinum dragon is, it's a fable as old as time. After a thorough examination over Bahamut, he has celestial blood coursing through his veins.
Interesting.
This would imply he is some sort of deity. Do you know anything about deities?
They're god-like creatures that possess immense power.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Have you ever heard of the balance of nature? The balance of power?
Oh, you mean like good and evil?
Where an amount of good exists, an equal amount of evil must also exist, correct?
Right.
Bahamut seems to have this radiation of good-like energy coming from his body, and that would tell me that somewhere out there is an equal amount of evil energy in this realm.
Right. Well, if he's a good deity, a good celestial, you're saying that there would be a counterpart to Bahamut then.
If the scales are to be balanced, then yes, there has to be. He sort of looks down, then he looks back up to Zekrom. As this Zekrom is a natural force of good and positivity, Reshiram is an equal force of evil and negativity.
So you're saying each person has their own counterpart in this world?
Theoretically, as the balance of power exists, the more an individual makes themselves known to the balance of power, their equal but opposite self also must exist and take the footprint of power on the opposite side of that scale. Does that make sense, Cohen Attleberry?
That seems logical. In order to keep things in balance in this realm, you need to have good and bad, for one cannot exist without the other, right?
Correct, Cohen Antleberry. Can I trust you, Cohen Antleberry?
Oh, that's a trick question. Trust is a matter of perspective. We've just met.
It's a fair point. I have reason to believe that some of the Dragonborn here under Zekrom's ranks are in fact siders with Reshiram's ranks, and they have infiltrated his village. With you bringing in attractions such as Bahamut to this village, I suspect they will be acting quickly.
Do you expect them just to try and take Bahamut, or do you think, like, at the gate, siege kind of thing? Or subterfuge, or play the long political game? Do you have any proof of this?
No proof. No proof.
Just speculation?
Speculation. Balance of power. You see, he looks almost like he's looking past Reshiram. Sorry, past Zekrom, thinking to himself on the thought of Reshiram. And he says, Reshiram has fought for Zekrom's power, for the crown of the Dragonborns for quite some time now. The Dragonborns are almost split exactly in two sides. Reshiram's side and Zekrom's side. It's only a matter of time before one side or the other attempts to take the whole pie, if you get what I mean. See, he's still looking off into the distance, and as you kind of see him looking off in the distance, you glance over to Demonia and Zekrom trading blows, and you do hear O'Flanagan's voice yell out, saying, dodge the blows. You don't necessarily have to beat him, but you do need to evade him. As O'Flanagan is yelling out to Demonia.
That fella over there, that's one of my compatriots as well. He's a good fighter.
The Aarakocra?
Yeah, O'Flanagan. Good fella, a bit of a hothead sometimes, but good overall individual.
Well, it's good to know that the Aarakocra doesn't hold too much ill intent for the Dragonborn.
Well, he was a bit apprehensive on coming here.
I'm sure he was.
For good reasons.
Cornantleberry, just be careful around these parts. They must know that you helped brought the egg to this village, and they may want answers from you or your friends and allies.
My allies, they're more dangerous than I am. They should be fine.
Okay.
And
suddenly,
sorry,
as
your
this conversation
name again
wraps up, as you ask that question, suddenly you can hear what sounds like a scream, and this giant orange light just blindsides you on your left side, and you watch these flames just combust, and they completely engulf where O'Flanagan was sitting. And the flames just roar over the stadium. Give me, Demonia, give me a charisma check. You as well, Orbweeb.
Nat 20.
Okay, you're doing good.
I'm fine.
What check did you say?
You've been in the flames, like, yeah.
Charisma check, please.
Okay. $11.
11. Okay, so you're both holding out pretty well. As these flames just
You might need
light
to
up.
turn this music down a little bit.
You can turn it down yourself.
Turn it down, Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I right click on Probot and then
I did
just
the same thing. I was like,
scroll
wow.
down.
Just turn it down until you feel comfortable.
For sure. I was like, dang, okay.
What?
I was like,
What was
what?
that?
What?
What do I roll?
What? Okay.
Just realistic with the roaring flames. You can't hear
Yeah.
shit.
You can't hear shit.
I mean-
Start yelling.
The flames
Start
almost
yelling.
roar into the sky, and you all kind of dart your vision over to where O'Flanagan was sitting, and you can no longer see O'Flanagan as all just ashy smoke just covers that whole area of the that side of the bleachers. Suddenly, just all these Dragonborns are screaming and roaring as it almost seems like about half of them rise and start turning on each other. Blades get drawn and they start slashing at each other. And Corwin, as you're looking around, you're instantly watched as one Dragonborn across the way takes his rapier and he plunges it through the Dragonborn next to him. And they watch as the blade pierces through his chest and he rips it out and blood goes spewing. Suddenly, almost like these friends just turn on each other instantly without even a second thought. What do you want to do?
Well,
Can freak out.
yeah. Can I try and crawl under the bleachers?
Yeah, give me a dexterity check.
Cause my boy is scared.
I don't want to be a part of this.
9.
9. You start trying to shimmy under the bleachers, and you watch as Micah starts getting up to his feet, and he starts looking around. He starts holding out his hands over to Demonia. You watch Demonia as this flame just engulfs the sky. As Zekrom is holding his wooden blade towards you and looks over your head, and he kind of draws his sword back. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna yell to Zekrom and be like, "This is not the time for this battle. We have to be done. I need to find my friend."
He looks down to you and he says, "I don't think finding your friend's gonna be an option right now." And suddenly as you look around, you can see Dragonborn fighting other Dragonborn just completely surrounding you as your entire field of vision just obscured in just combat. Swords swaying, people fighting, and Zekrom slowly starts to bring his back towards you and he holds out this purple glass towards your hand. He says, "Drink this right now."
I'm gonna whip that out of his hand and drink it.
Give me a 2d6.
All right. 7.
7. You heal 7 HP.
Thank God. I'm gonna look at him and say, "Do you know?" So did you? Okay, did I see the fireball hit O'Flanagan, or not?
You saw-
like where he?
All you saw was just a giant flame imbue over the bleachers, and now you just can't see any of your party mates. As all the Dragonborn have simultaneously stood up, some are running around in fear, some are turning on each other, and this big battle is starting to imbue, and you're at the flickers of the coming flame, per se. As this battle is quickly getting worse.
Man, I'm gonna. The plan that I had doesn't work now because of what happened, and now I'm just a little stumped. I'm gonna kind of in a panic just start pushing around, if I can, like around the side of the crowd and just start seeing if I can find anybody. So try to stay out of the battle, but try to like run around the edge of it.
Give me a
if I
strength check.
can. Okay. Come on, strength. Oh, it was almost an 18.
5.
I got a 5.
You go to reach out and start moving people around, and suddenly you feel Zekrom's hand grab onto your shoulder, and he starts turning you back to him, and he says, "We need to get back to back right now." And he pulls out one of his actual sharpened blades, and he watches a Dragonborn rushes him, and he takes his blade, and they clash swords together. As you look to your front, you watch as 2 or 3 Dragonborn start making their way towards you. They don't really seem like They don't seem like they're made of the same metal as you've seen already. They don't seem to hold a flicker of a flame towards Rothkin, but you can definitely tell they have an intent to kill.
Fantastic. I'm gonna look at Zekrom and be like, "What's your plan? Are we getting out of here? Can you help me get out of here?"
He says, as he kind of looks towards you as he starts getting his back towards yours, and he starts watching his front. He goes, "We need to get to Bahamut right now. He's back in my quarters, and we have to get over to my quarters before these guys try to take him."
I'm with you.
Orbweeb, you watch as you release your hold spell, and this flame just imbuing, and you watch where Flanagan was just becomes lit in flames, and you can no longer see him. Suddenly, this blade goes swinging towards your neck. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Just dab?
Well, it was more like a dodge, but it turned out to be a dab, so yeah.
I love it.
Pretty baller of you.
Nat 20. That was almost a 2.
That's funny. Okay.
She does dab. Just
The Dragonborn that was
I'm gonna
threatening
do it
you.
every time now.
The Dragonborn that was threatening you swings his blade towards your neck, and you literally just dab out of the way of the
Out of the
blade
way.
and duck out of the way, and the sword goes flying over your head. And you watch as the sword flies over your head, his arm swings wide open, and you have an opening. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna take a little dagger out of my little dagger holder thing, and I'm gonna slash his stomach.
Give me an attack roll.
Perfect. Oopsies, wrong one, sorry.
You're good.
18.
You slash towards his stomach. Give me damage.
2.
2. You do 2 damage as your blade slashes across his chest, and a little bit of blood goes pouring out of his chest a little bit, but not dramatically. He goes to draw his sword back, and he goes to kick you.
I want to hop over his kick.
His leg goes flying just short of your chest as he seems to be somewhat intimidated by you now.
Yeah.
Back over to Corwin. You're watching Micah rise up, and he seems to be holding some kind of spell in between his hands as this yellow sphere seems to be forming in his palms as you're still trying to shimmy down into the bleachers. What do you want to do?
Are there any Dragonborn coming towards me with intent to try and get to myself?
As you're currently trying to climb into the bleachers, you're not really paying attention for that. You're more trying to see the opening of the bleachers. If you'd like, you can do an investigation, or actually give me a perception check.
9.
9. You are not really paying attention to the Dragonborn around you as you're still trying to shimmy down into these bleachers.
Okay. I'm gonna shimmy some more.
Okay, give me a dexterity check.
14.
14. You shimmy down in between the bleachers and you kind of get underneath them where you can't really be reached easily. And as you look up, you watch the Dragonborn rush Micah, and he brings back this yellow orb and he collides his hand into the Dragonborn's head. And you watch this yellow orb almost fuse into this Dragonborn's skull as these golden like veins kind of shoot across this Dragonborn's head, and suddenly just and his whole head explodes instantly. And Micah goes trotting into the crowd of Dragonborn.
What a scary individual.
Back over to Des Moines, you got 3 Dragonborn walking towards you, and you can hear the clashings of swords behind you as Zekrom seems to be engaging in combat with numerous Dragonborn at the same time, as they seem like they can't really hold a candle to him. What do you want to do?
Awesome. I want to use all my spell slots. That won't matter. How far away are they from me?
About 20 feet.
That's a problem. Let's see.
Yeah, that's a problem.
This is a problem. Keep fucking with my plants. I would. Ugh. Let me see. I'm gonna cast Hideous Laughter.
Okay.
At the Dragonborns coming at me.
That's a charisma save?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay. Got a 9.
Failed.
Failed?
Yep.
What's the effect?
Alright, so they're knocked prone, perceive everything is hilariously funny, and fall into fits of laughter for, let me see. Their intelligence is above 4, right?
Actually no, not this one.
Not that one?
Nope.
He is not affected.
He's not affected?
He's unaffected.
Okay. Oh, you know what?
So
I'm sorry. No,
fucking nothing
no. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. It is above a 4. He has a 9.
Oh, thank God. I was like, are you for real?
Yeah, sorry. I had it flipped on my page.
Oh, man. Oh, no, you're okay. Yep, so he is knocked prone for the next minute.
Okay, just one?
Just one.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So
As these three start trotting towards you, you hold out your hands, and this purple light seems to radiate from you and descend upon one of them to the left, and he just crumples down to the ground and starts laughing hysterically as he seems to not be able to control himself. As he collapses, another Dragonborn runs up, and you watch they take their longsword and just slam it into the Dragonborn's chest and just rip out his chest. And then as that Dragonborn rips the blade out of his chest, the Dragonborn, one of the other Dragonborn that were approaching you, turns his sword and slashes towards the one that took the guy out, that you took out, and decapitates him instantly. As they're still, and then they start trotting back towards you.
All right, can I don't know if this is a bonus action. I want to yell at the two that are coming at me and try to intimidate them.
Okay, give me a intimidation check.
I have a +5 on this. I've been waiting for this one. I got an 18.
18? What do you want to say?
I'm gonna yell towards them and be like, "You have no idea who I am. Don't fuck with me."
As you yell that, they do start backing up, and they kind of seem like to be somewhat intimidated. And as they do back up,
find another victim.
And as they do back up, the one that was in the middle, but now to your left, a blade just appears through his chest and then comes ripping back out as another Dragonborn kills that one. And then the other guy turns and they start fighting each other. It seems like they'd have disregarded you from their vision. Orb Weave. You are trading blows with the Dragonborn that started all of this. As he's bringing back his sword, what do you want to do?
I would suggest killing him.
I mean, that's the goal, am I right? I wish I had a bit of a better... Can I dodge? I'm gonna dodge. He's already trying to attack me.
Okay, give me a dexterity save. 14. He swings his blade towards you, and he just duck out of the way, and he swings past you, and he looks you dead in your eyes, and he says, "Where it is, Bahamut?"
I'm just gonna yell at him and say, "Hey, that ain't none of my business anymore," as I'm like trying to at least get 5 feet away from him.
Give me a strength check.
A strength check?
Yep. Actually, a strength save, sorry.
Okay. Ignore that roll.
Oh, yeah.
There we go, that's better.
Okay.
14.
You say that, and as you say that, 2 arms wrap around your chest, and they suspend your arms backwards as another Dragonborn has restrained you.
I did not expect that at all.
The Dragonborn in front of you raises his blade as he gets ready to slash down. What do you want to do?
Are both my arms completely back?
Yep. He's wrapped.
Can I go
the
like,
Dragonborn behind
go
you
like
has
that?
wrapped you by your biceps and pulled your arms back.
So I could be like this potentially?
No, it's more like you're handcuffed.
Okay, give me
You can
a second.
move. You pretty much your elbows down. Imagine your elbows at your hips. You can move your elbows down.
Am I at... Alright, you know what, it's fine. The guy in front of me, I'm casting Moonbeam on him, and I don't have to hold out my hands to do it.
Okay, so what does it do?
A silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range, which is 120 feet. Until the spell ends, dim light fills the cylinder. When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn in there, it is engulfed in a ghostly flames that causes searing pain, and it must make a Constitution saving throw and takes 2d10 radiant damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
14.
Okay, it succeeded.
Okay, give me the roll.
1d10. Sorry.
You're good.
So it takes 5 damage.
5 damage. As this light seems to just pierce through this Dragonborn, he wails out in pain, and he brings back his sword and he goes to slash down towards you. With a 9. I don't think that hits.
That did not
He
hit.
misses
This dude's
entirely
fucked.
as he seems to be getting intimidated, and he looks at you and he's like, "Why does this halfling, half-elf hybrid fucking and he yells at you, and he goes to swing again towards you. Wait, why am I doing that?
Hold
Okay.
on now. Stop it.
He
I
takes
couldn't be more stressed.
He takes his blade and he slashes into your chest, dealing 14 damage. As the blade just cuts through your skin and blood goes spewing from your chest. He yells in your face. He goes, "Where is Bahamut?" As he yells into your face. Over to Corwin Addleberry. Corwin, you're
Wait, can I
hiding.
yell something back at him?
When we get back to your turn. Corwin Addleberry, you're under the bleachers. And you kind of hear a voice. He's like, you turn around and you see this hunched over 4'5" smaller dragonborn of a greenish bluish shading looks over to you, and you see he's dragging this like wooden rod across the ground. His neck and head are kind of kirked over. He looks dead into your eyes as you look over to him, and he goes, and he's dragging the rod, and it seems to be just dragging through the dirt. So he looks into your eyes. He goes, "Where is the dragon?"
Well, to be fair, you need to be more specific. There's a lot of them here.
"Don't play stupid." He starts drawing his wooden rod up, and you see this red luminescence light forming at the tip of it. And he brings it over his head. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, you wanted to save, right?
Yeah.
Those aren't on disadvantage. Just a second. Yeah, fuck. 4.
4. Okay.
Oh, good. Glad you rolled again.
So
Yeah,
he
me
brings
too.
up this rod, and this flame sphere just goes crashing towards you, and you seem to be coming enveloped inside this flame sphere as it does continuous damage towards you. You can feel the fire singeing your skin. You take 1 damage as this flame sphere is not going away, and he's still dragging his rod through the dirt.
Is this a flame that he's controlling, or is it like a magical flame? Is it a flame that manifested?
That's something you gotta figure out. All you know is that this flame appeared at the tip of his rod, and he cascaded it over to you with the swing of his rod, and now this sphere of fire is just hurling around you. Also, give me a charisma save.
Charisma or composure?
Composure.
Fuck. 7.
You are petrified. Any action you want to take against him is on disadvantage.
Yep. Okay. How far away is he from me?
About 40 feet.
Okay, and he hit me, right?
He did hit you.
Like,
Yes.
okay. I'm gonna use Hellish Rebuke, get some radiant damage on that bitch.
Okay.
Word.
Come on, do the thing. I could cast. When you figure the creature that damaged you, the oh. Okay, while I got hit, I would point my finger at this weird, decrepit dragonborn.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cascade down radiant damage upon him.
All right. What's the damage? Is it automatically hit?
It's 3d10.
Okay.
I love
16.
16. You point your finger out towards him, and you'd feel like a vibration ring through your arm. And suddenly, this yellow electric light just launches from your fingertip, rises upwards, and then comes crashing down towards him. And a flash of blinding light, you just see him scream outward, and he just turns into ash and collapses.
I don't. Did the flames go away? Or are they still around?
The flames are gone.
Oh, I didn't like that. Is there a way out, like the way he came? Is the direction he was coming from?
Yeah, so the behind the bleachers is just an opening.
Oh, sweet. Okay. I'm going to run out and then to the left.
Okay. As soon as you run out of the bleachers, give me a dexterity save.
Be nice to me.
7. As you run out, suddenly 2 bodies go crashing on top of you. You take 3 damage as you get pummeled into the dirt, and 2 Dragonborn have fallen on top of you, and you hear them roaring at each other, and they just go, "Die, Zalrak!" And you see this dagger just pierces through this chest of this other Dragonborn and rips out, and blood goes spewing across your face as this Dragonborn next to you has died. And you see the Dragonborn that killed him looks over at you with this bloodthirsty look, and he gets ready to draw his dagger towards you. Demonia, the Dragonborn have abandoned you, and they have started facing each other, and you can hear what sounds like Zekrom still engaged in combat. Suddenly, you do feel a tug at your right shoulder as another Dragonborn is searing his claws into your flesh. Give me a dex save.
All right.
Hey there, we hope you're enjoying this episode of Subspace D&D. Did you know we have a Discord? In our Discord, you can get a buttload of information that you might not be able just to gather on your own from watching our playthrough, such as different NPCs we've met along the way, to even the quests they've managed to gather along their journey. You can even see our rolls as they happen during a playthrough. You can even check the Orunsoul glossary, where I personally, the game master of the campaign, put in all sorts of details about different locations or items or even characters we've met along the way on our journey in the campaign. There is all sorts of cool stuff in our Discord that you can check out, all sorts of details that might be able to help make the campaign more lively for you. If you want to join the Discord, the link will be down below. And if you don't want to join our Discord,
I will find you.
Alright, back to the campaign.
$17.
17. You pull your shoulder away before he's able to actually do any damage to you, and you find a purple Dragonborn roaring in your face, and he yells, "Where's the dragon?"
I'm gonna use Mama Turkey, and one of the effects is my voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute.
Okay.
Can I use that in tangent with intimidation? I want to really scare the shit out of this guy.
Sure. Give me an intimidation check.
Okay.
Get it. Throw the Mama Turkey.
Mama Turkey. 23 to intimidate.
What do you say?
What did I say? I'm gonna lean into his face as close as I could get and scream, "Get out of my face or I will end your life."
As you yell that... Sorry?
No, I'm just gonna yell. I can't, I don't want to, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. As you yell that, he almost covers his ears and goes collapsing on the ground and goes into the fetal position and is just cowering in fear.
Perfect. Can I disengage? Oh,
Disengage where? You're surrounded.
I know. Do I see any
You
sort
can
of clearing?
disengage. It's just you're not gonna if you want to go somewhere, you're gonna run to the Dragonborn. You can disengage him directly.
Yeah, I want to back up from him.
Okay, yeah, you back up a few feet away from him while he's cowering in fear.
Can I turn around to Zekrom real quick and be like, "How are you doing?"
You kind of turn your shoulder and you look over to Zekrom and you watch him trading blades with 2 other Dragonborn. And you watch as one Dragonborn takes a dagger and slashes across Zekrom's side. And you can see blood pouring from Zekrom's side. And you see his knees buckle a little bit as he's still holding up his longsword. And he just keeps clashing with him.
Oh my god. Alright. Well, I can't get to his quarters. That's a problem.
Give me a dexterity save.
Alright. 9.
9. Suddenly an arrow pierces your shoulder as a Dragonborn from the top of the bleachers has a bow, and an arrow has pierced your shoulder.
Fucking sniper.
You take 1 damage.
That's good.
The tip of the arrow just grazes your shoulder as it goes flying in the dirt and crashes into the sand.
I'm gonna just grab that arrow and snap it on my leg and just scream.
You just scream again as you snap this arrow above your leg. Give me a performance check.
I'm just pissed.
Motherfucker shot me.
You.
As you're having these like yelling fits and rage fits, a lot of the Dragonborn seem to be becoming hesitant of approaching your area of battle.
Oh, perfect.
Orbweeb,
Good.
you're exchanging
That's
blows with the
good.
Dragonborn next to you as he's yelling in your face. What do you reply with?
What did he say again?
He said,
Where's
give us
the
Bahamut.
Oh. He said something else, and I had a good comeback, but it was like,
What is this fucking halfling, half elf fucking
Yeah.
thing doing?
Yeah.
it wasn't that. It's fine. I'm just gonna spit in his face, and then did he ever move? Did he move
Give
outside
me
that
performance.
5-foot radius? Okay.
I'm just gonna spit in his face then.
It's okay. That's just as good of a comeback, right?
Oh, yeah.
With a 22.
Absolutely.
You take a deep breath and you kind of gurgle your saliva a little bit and you go, and this big loogie splashes over his face as he's roaring in your face and he goes, "Ah!"
All right. I'm gonna giggle a little. More like that. More like a like that.
Evil giggle.
Yeah, evil giggle. Did he
Learn that
move outside
from
of that 5-foot radius for the moonbeam?
No.
All right, then he's got to take another
Con save?
con save. Yeah.
Con save? Okay. 17.
Fuck.
Yay.
Okay, he takes half damage again.
Okay.
Another 5.
Another 5. You watch as he's stuck inside this moonbeam. Suddenly, he just turns into ash and just disappears from your field of view. He lets out one last roar before he disappears forever. And the Dragonborn behind you is holding your arms back. And suddenly, you can hear what you not hear, but you kind of see his arm rotating as he seems to be reaching for something on his behind. You can give me a dexterity save to break away if you want.
16.
16. All right. As he starts pulling your arm, as he starts pulling his arm away from you, he is going to do something.
He doesn't have to do anything.
I think he doesn't want to do anything.
I don't think he was
Okay.
going to do anything.
As you start pulling your arm away, I actually need to pull something from.
He finds
Someone
inner
else.
peace.
He finds inner
He,
peace. And he wants
he
to,
decides this isn't worth it. He's got a family at home.
Right.
suddenly, you can
straight.
feel what's like intense fire just imbuing the back of your head and lighting your hair on fire as this acid flame just
My hair.
spews on the back of your skull. You do take 4 damage. Just and the flames just engulf the back of your head, and you can't
Alright,
smell
since-
you can't smell your hair singeing.
All right. At this point, I have broken concentration on because I tried to move. Broke concentration on Moonbeam. That disappeared. Can I poison spray his ass?
Yeah, you broke
Yeah,
away from him,
poison
so yeah, you could turn around and
Fantastic.
cast poison spray.
I'm gonna turn around, just fucking poison spray right in his face.
All right.
You gotta do another con save.
Con save.
Yeah.
Fail.
21.
Fuck.
Oh my god! Okay, he's taking half damage.
God damn.
What is it? 12.
Beefy boy.
He's taking 2 damage.
He takes
No one
2
knows this is
damage.
a cantrip. I'll just keep doing it.
Yeah, you put your hand towards his face and you cast poison spray, and he goes, "Ah!" As you're burning your hand into his face. He wildly starts grabbing at the dagger at his hip, and he swings towards you while your hand's on his head. With a 10.
The matches.
As he swings his dagger towards you, you bring your hands down and capture his wrists in your grasp. Give me a strength check. Or, strength save, sorry.
If I realize that he is stronger than me, can I start biting his arm? 18.
18. Okay, so you have an option here. You can, basically, you can bite him, you can disengage, or you can respawn with your own attack.
Fight him.
Poison spray.
Poison spray. You hold down.
I'm like out of cantrip. Or I'm out of spell slots, guys.
I know.
You're holding down
Yeah.
his wrist, and you take your right hand and you go back to his head and you cast poison spray as your hand collides into his forehead. It's a
And
con
he
save,
rolls
right?
badly.
Yep, con save. And he rolls.
13.
Fuck! So close. He takes half damage. 2.5.
2.5. Okay,
Give her 3.
I'll give it a 3. Okay,
Yeah, we'll round
bring
up.
your hand towards his forehead. You start burning the poison into his forehead, and he lets out another yell. Corwin, this Dragonborn just murdered another one next to you. He looks up to you and he starts roaring in your face, yelling, "Where's Bahamut?" as he starts drawing the dagger that he used to kill the Dragonborn, and he starts getting ready to attack you.
Going to say, I don't know who that dragon is. I'm going to touch the ground and use Thunderclap.
Okay, you touch the ground, use Thunderclap. Give me the roll. Is it a save on my end, or is it a roll for you?
Yeah, so need a con save if... are they going to be on disadvantage if they're on the ground?
He's not really on the ground. The one he killed is on the ground. It's more like
Oh,
you
okay.
all fell down towards the ground, and you and him are both like on all fours, like rising up.
Okay, yeah. And he is within 5 feet of me?
Yeah, he's like right next to you.
Okay, yeah, I'm using Thunderclap.
Okay. All right. What's the save?
It's a Constitution savings throw.
Yeah, 9.
Alright, you're going to take full damage. 6 damage.
You
Nice.
clap
It's
your
a,
hand. Is it clapping the ground, or is it like a sound
So
thing?
I create a burst of thunderous sound that can be heard up to 100 feet away. Each creature within the 5 feet 5 feet radius has to make a Constitution savings throw.
Okay. You clap your hands together, and this giant boom can be heard by everybody there, but it doesn't really seem to stop the battle at all. You clap your hands together, and he grabs at its head, and he starts falling backwards. He starts swinging his dagger wildly as he starts stumbling backwards in a panic.
Can I use...
He misses entirely.
Good. I'm gonna use Expeditious Retreat and try and get out of there and try and find some of my people lying about this one-on-one fights.
Okay, so you're gonna circle back around the bleachers?
Yeah, so I'm heading out and we'll say, yeah, we'll go. I said left. Yeah, we'll go left.
Okay.
I don't know
You
who's
circle
left, but we're gonna
left side
figure
of the
that out.
bleachers, and you run around, and suddenly as you run around, give me a dex save.
Hey, there's double digits.
12, okay. You run around the corner of the bleachers, and suddenly you see a Dragonborn goes flying past you, just about 10 feet ahead of you as you run around the corner. It goes flying past you and slams into a brick wall and just collapses to the ground KO'd. And you look to your left, and you see Micah holding back his palm. He turns to start facing the next Dragonborn and continues combat.
Like him.
What
Do I
you want?
see? Do I see anybody else?
Yeah, you see plenty. Like as far as your allies go, you gotta give me a perception. But as far as what you see in general, it's combat everywhere, and it seems like it's extended from the arena to throughout the entire village.
I'll
Awesome.
open this fucking pit, you know?
13 perception to see if I can see anybody.
You
Any
look
of my
around,
allies.
you can immediately see Orbweeb fighting off against another Dragonborn on your right side, about 7 bleachers up.
Is their
She's
back to me at all?
approximately 70 feet away from you. Her back is to you.
Okay, but I can see them.
Yeah, you can see her facing off, but you can't see anybody else.
Okay. I'm going to use my inspiration point to roll on advantage to Eldritch Blast the person that she is fighting against.
Okay. Give me a roll.
That's an 8. And that's an 18.
And you're on a disadvantage?
That'd be advantage. I was using my inspiration point to...
You're exhausted, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't count towards my attack rolls.
Okay. You hold out your hand, and suddenly this purple arc of lightning just shoots from your palm. It goes arcing across the battlefield, And Orb Weeb, as you pull your hand away, suddenly this purple-like energy just slams in the Dragonborn next to you, and you watch him just shakes wildly and just collapses to the ground, dead.
I'm gonna turn around so fast.
Oh.
Who?
You turn around, but there's so much combat happening, you have no idea where it came from unless you want to give me a perception check.
I will give a perception check, but I am also going to duck a little just in case another one comes.
Okay.
Like, is that for me or?
Was that for me or was that for him? I'm so sorry. You said perception check.
Yep.
Okay. 19.
19.
What air?
Yeah, you look across the battlefield, you're pretty high up, and you can see Corwin bringing back his palm as a purple luminescent light just kind of radiating from his palm, almost like it's deactivating, like his power is subsiding, and he brings his palm back like he's getting ready to strike another Eldritch Blast if he needs to.
I'm gonna start booking it to
Where?
Corwin.
If you're booking it to Corwin is not possible. There is about 20 to 30 Dragonborn between you and Corwin.
Well, am I able to am I just trapped in the area that I'm in, or is there a way I can get out?
You can fight your way out, but there's no way to just run to him. You're literally surrounded on all sides.
I just start climbing over people.
You can give me a dex check.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump across their heads.
It's
Hold
possible,
on, even
but
better. I'm small. I'm gonna go under their legs.
over the heads would be cooler, but whatever.
There, it's fine.
Which one do you think I have a better chance living through?
I can't tell you that.
I can't tell you the odds.
What would Orb Weeb do in this
One of
situation?
them's cooler.
Or we would do the cool thing. She's gonna go over.
Okay.
Do you want acrobatics?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I
want
do.
this to work.
Yes, I do.
Can I use my inspiration point to roll again?
Yeah, it's your inspiration point. As long as you have one.
I do.
Do the thing.
I'm rooting for you.
That's the
Come
plan.
on, jump
I
over
just rolled a
there.
nat one.
Okay, so you leap upwards, and suddenly your right foot steps onto the head of a dragonborn, and you launch yourself upwards. Corn, when you watch as Orbweeb jumps on top of a dragonborn's head, jumps upwards, and as she's flying through the air, she looks to her right, and there's an arrow flying towards her chest. Orbweeb, give me a dexterity check, save, disadvantage. Corwin, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna try and throw one of my sending stones at this rock, or at this arrow. I'm gonna try and throw this rock at
Rock.
it.
Okay.
That's some Matrix shit.
Where's my
I rolled
rock?
a 3.
Yeah, you
You're
did.
not doing hot right now. What's your
There's my
HP?
magic stone.
I was doing really good, and then now I'm doing real bad.
What's your HP?
Duality, man.
Orbweeb.
Huh?
Hit points?
17.
17. You got 10, Corwin?
Tend to hit this arrow.
Okay, so Orbweeb, as you're flying through the air and you corner your eye, you see this arrow flying right towards your chest. Suddenly you see this little pebble go hurling towards your head and just kind of grazes your hair a little bit as it goes flying overhead. You kind of think that somebody was trying to stop the arrow, or maybe you. Then as you think that, the arrow collides into your chest.
Awesome.
You're like, oh, that's weird.
You take 2 damage as
What
this
was that?
arrow
Oh,
pierces
shit.
through your chest.
Fuck.
That was gonna be really cool if I was able to stop an arrow with a little pebble.
It would have
That'd
been.
be
Maybe if
sweet.
you rolled a nat 20.
I'll give you guys a hint. The cooler the thing you're trying to do, if I think it's awesome, the DC will automatically be lower. So let's just give you a little hint.
If I think it's
So
fun.
honestly, the DC for sliding under Dragonborn was higher than jumping on their heads, because I just thought jumping on their heads would have been pretty cool. But
Absolutely. Thanks for not
Orbweeb-
letting me die because I rolled a nat 1 trying to jump over the heads of fighting dragonborn.
Orbweeb, the arrow pierces your chest. You lose all concentration and you go plummeting back down towards the ground. Give me a dex save, or actually give me
Did I get-
acrobatics.
Did I get closer to Corwin?
You jumped and probably traveled about 10 feet.
Now you're
9.
60 feet
Hey,
away.
that's 10 feet
You go
closer.
crashing over a Dragonborn's head, and he goes collapsing underneath you. You take 4 damage as you fall onto a blade, and it slices your chest. You are now surrounded entirely by Dragonborn, not even on the bleachers anymore. You're in the dirt, and Corwin has disappeared from your view. Demonia, you can tell that Zekrom is starting to struggle. He has, as you've watched him and the Dragonborn next to you have been fearful of approaching you. You watched him single-handedly, usually on a 1v2 to 1v3. He has taken out about 7 Dragonborn so far. You can see the blood pouring from his chest. He looks pretty bruised, and his knees are starting to buckle even worse.
Is he actively fighting somebody right now?
Yes, he's almost seems like he's just consistently and constantly fighting.
The one that he's actively in combat with, I'm gonna do Mama Turkey again. Go cantrips. It's a one says you can create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, and the range is 30 feet.
Okay.
Right in the Dragonborn's ear that he's fighting, I just want there to be just a loud, like just screech. Like, demonic, like, screech. Like, piercing. Like, it doesn't hurt him at all, but I want it to jolt him really hard. Like, he's like, what the hell is that? Right next to his ear.
Give me performance.
Alright. That's totally a point within range. Come on. The sound effect. I got a 24.
Holy shit. Nice.
Do you
I
have
am
a plus
intimidated.
7 on performance? Holy crap!
I've been saving this. I
You
get to
bring your
perform.
hands to your chest and you swing them backwards as you yell, and you just try to perform the best screech you can. And as
Well,
it
it's like-
shoots towards his ear, he just goes holding his head and he takes 4 damage. And as he does, Zekrom brings up his longsword and he slashes through his chest and just cleaves him in half instantly.
Me and Zekrom are like this. I am proving myself like a mofo. I'm gonna, if I can, run up to him. Like, am I within, like, range? You were not close to each other, right?
Yeah, he's about 5 feet away from you. He's turning
Okay,
towards you as you're starting to run towards him, and he looks at you
Okay.
as you're running towards him.
I'm gonna yell to him and be like, we need to find a way out of here. We need to find a clearing. We need to create a clearing. You're beat up and so am I. We need to get to the dragon.
He looks at you and he goes, Bahamut, he's in my stud. And as he does, it's almost like in slow motion. You see this arrow go whizzing past your head, and it collides straight into Zekrom's chest, and he goes, go! And he brings back his longsword as he sees the arrow in his chest.
Oh my god.
As he looks over to you and he goes, Demonia! Another arrow goes flying into his other side of his chest, and he takes another step back and he's starting to stumble backwards. And he just lets
Let me
out a
pass
giant
through.
roar that seems to kind of almost shake the entire arena. And you look to your left where these arrows are coming from, and it's the same archer from the top of the bleachers on the left side. And he's drawing back his bowstring again, aiming towards Zekrom.
God damn it. I already used my action. I can't heal him. Well, now I'm stressed out. I'm gonna... I'm gonna block him from the arrows. I'm gonna stand in front of Zekrom
Okay, give me a
to
dex
where
save.
the archer... Okay. $22.
You go to step in front of Zekrom, and as you do, you feel an intense vibration at your side, like your sword is begging to be wielded.
Oh? Can I pull it out?
Yeah.
Okay. Pull out my sword, be like, what do you want right now?
As you pull out your sword, it seems to almost start moving on its own as it forces you to do almost like this 180 spin. And as you spin around, this arrow goes flying towards Zekrom, and as you step in his way, your sword seems to automatically fly ahead of you, and you cleave the arrow in half, and you send it flying through the air.
Nice.
yeah. I'm gonna look down at it and be like, thanks!
You look at the sword, and you can hear the voice ring through your head. He goes, stop wasting my potential.
I'm in the middle of something.
Start using the right things then.
Fuck, fine, thanks for the arrow. We can keep doing that.
Corwin, you're across the way from Orbweeb, and she goes crashing into the Dragonborn. You can no longer see her in sight. What do you want to do?
Oh, that's not good. How? Like you said, there's like 20, 20 of them between me and her.
I said 20 to 30.
I said 20. So.
Yeah.
Do I see the arena at all?
It's the arena's somewhat suspended, so it's a little higher than everybody else.
Okay.
So you can kind of see it, but it's constantly like disappearing from your vision as people are moving in front of you and backing up.
So I can't see like Demonia and Zekrom. What's happening inside there?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to try and make my way to Orbweeb.
Okay.
Got
How
this.
do you want to go about doing that?
That's a fantastic question.
Jump with our heads.
Jump with their heads.
Jump with the head.
Yeah, with my dex rolls I've had, yeah, that'd go over really well. I'm gonna slap on armor of
Agathes.
Agathes to increase my HP up another 10, and that way, if something bitch touches me, they take frost damage.
All right.
Word.
All right, got that.
Starting point.
Yeah. That puts me at 37. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make my way forward.
All right. Give me a strength save.
All right, bitches. 6.
You go to step forward, and Dragonborn immediately goes to elbow you in the face as he's bringing back his dagger to fight another Dragonborn. A second. It's an 8, so you don't get hit. You kind of just bring your head back as his elbow goes flying towards your nose, and then back forward to fight this Dragonborn ahead.
All right, I'm standing behind him.
You are standing behind him, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put my hand. I don't know who's the good guys and who the bad guys are.
You don't.
They're all bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
Right now.
All right, I'm gonna put my hand like just like a quarter inch away from his back and just push Eldritch Blast, and maybe I'll hit them both. We'll see.
Okay. You put your hand towards his back, go to cast Eldritch Blast, give me the roll.
That's a 19.
19 to hit, give me damage.
You want to hit Eldritch Blast through somebody?
Yeah.
Just
4
through.
damage.
Cool.
Your hand shakes and the light emanates from your hand, and you can feel the Eldritch Blast initiate and slam into the guy's back, but you don't feel like it pierced through him. He takes 4 damage as he kind of yells out into the sky and looks at you, and he goes to swing his blade at you. And as he swings his blade towards you, the guy he was fighting, his sword goes swinging forward as well, and you watch as this Dragonborn brings his blade to you to fight you. Suddenly his whole head just goes and falls down to the ground. His whole body just collapses, and behind him you see a Dragonborn raising his long sword getting ready to fight you.
Oh. Hello, and as I raise my hand, can I blast him?
Yeah. You raise your hand towards his face, you're like, hi! And then you cast Eldritch Blast. Give me the roll.
15.
15, you hit. Give me damage.
13.
13. You say, hi! And then the Eldritch Blast launches from your palm, and you watch it collide into his face, pierces through his skull, and he goes collapsing to the ground.
Oi! Let's move forward.
Bye! Orbweeb, as you slam into the dirt and you're surrounded by Dragonborn, you start getting back up to your feet, and nobody's really seemed to pay attention to you yet, but you are surrounded by people fighting. What do you want to do?
Am I still up on the bleachers, or am I down in the arena now?
You're down in the mosh pit now.
Okay, I'm in the pit. Okay, this is scaring the shit out of Orbweeb.
It's reasonable.
She doesn't know what to do. Can she see Corwin at all?
No.
Okay.
Not even a perception check would show Corwin.
There's 18 to 28 individuals in front of us.
All right. So I don't know if I can use this. Can I? If I was to pray, does it have to be an action?
Yeah, it takes longer than 6 seconds.
Okay. I'm gonna say a couple words with religious intent behind it.
Okay. As you get ready to say your religious intented prayer, we're going to take a 15-minute break.
Damn.
Recollect
It's a long ass
yourselves.
prayer.
Yeah. You pray for
Her-
15 minutes in the middle of a fucking giant dragonborn
You just-
battle.
Everyone leaves
Maliki,
you alone.
please
They're like,
save
"No,
my
give her a
life.
minute."
I don't want to
God,
die.
please, God.
Fuck! This is nuts, bro.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of Subspace. If you want to find more of our platforms, you can check the links below in the description. If you would like to visit my favorite podcast out there, Roll 4 Podcast, you can find their links also in our description below. You can find them on Spotify and your other favorite podcast networks. Don't be afraid to click one of these links up here. We'd super appreciate it. Until next time, adventurer, have a great rest of your day and happy questing.